Argentina have officially complained to the World Rugby about Tom Curry's actions in the tunnel towards coach Felipe Contepomi after the game. Now, this is just absolutely insane. The fact that this whole situation has boiled over into this post-game brawl and then fight between Curry and Contepomi and all the after-match talk. I mean, it's absolutely insane in my opinion, but I'm going to talk about what actually happened. I'm going to talk this into a couple of 2 or 3 parts in the video. First of all, I'm going to go over what happened with Malia and Curry in the incident itself. We're going to talk about the timing of it. We're going to look back at some replays of what happens. Then we're going to talk about what happens on the field after, and then we're going to talk about all the press match stuff after that with Contepomi and the reaction between World Rugby and what other people have been saying and sort of what could happen going forwards. But yeah, let's start off with the actual incident. Here is the clip, Tom Curry tackling Juan Cruz Malia. Now, as you can see here, Argentina got the ball, throw it back to Malia, kicks it instantly, Curry hits him there. Now, obviously, that's going at full speed play, so let's have a look at what is the gap between the ball leaving Malia's boot and then Tom Curry making contact as he goes to tackle him. So as you can see from this clip here, it's at 14.67 seconds that the ball leaves Malia's boot, and then at 15:45, Tom Curry's shoulder makes contact with Juan Cruz Malia after he's kicked it. So about 0.8 seconds, less than a second after the action of kicking the ball away. So it's marginal. It really is marginal. Less than a second is barely anything in the sort of time to commit to a tackle, get actually to the ball player and then make contact. So the fact that this is all being made into a big thing, it just confuses me. I think less than a second, you see that about 10 times a game, whether it be when you're passing the ball, kicking the ball, whatever. This happens very often. And we've seen it multiple times in this game. I think Pepper makes a huge shot on one of the players. It was lauded by the commentators as a great tackle, which it was. Kremer a couple of times pushes George Hall, doesn't actually tackle him, but does a push him off balance onto the floor a couple of times, more than a second, if anything. And both of those are sort of regarded as like fine, whatever. So just because this one leads into an injury, and probably because it's quite a hard tackle from Curry, it's a legal tackle, nothing wrong with the tackle, but obviously he's known for putting in big shots. It gets a lot of attention. So yeah, that's how quickly. So it's barely even a penalty for me, but sure, we'll call it just about a penalty. Some people have been calling yellow card. This is absolutely outrageous. I mean, the game you might as well just stop playing the sport at this time if you're giving that a yellow card. The whole point of rugby is a contest. The scrum is a contest. The line out is a contest. The ruck is a contest. Scrums and lineouts are ways to restart the game. Even that's a contest. You can't put kickers under pressure. There's no contest there, and kickers will be able to make much more ground and be able to control the game much more. If you remove this part of the contest, you're ruining the game slightly in an aspect. Now, Juan Cruz Malia, fair credit to him, because he's a world-class player, plays for Toulouse, 50 caps for Argentina, still gets a 50-22 from this kick. But it's remarkable what he has, because Tom Curry's pressuring him and it puts him off his kick, which is why he gets injured. Curry putting the pressure, it's not the actual tackle, it's the technique he makes Malia kick the ball. And let me explain more through an actual demonstration of me doing it. Now, I'm not a coach, but let me show you what happens. Right, it's time to use my Jamie George signed rugby ball to make a demonstration of what happens during the action of him, Tom Curry, tackling Juan Cruz Malia. I'm not a coach, but I did used to play at fly half, and I feel like I played enough football and stuff, I understand kicking actions to explain it quite well. So, what Malia would expect to do if he's got a clean, composed kick, a bit like George Ford did multiple times in the game, he would go to kick the ball like this, bang, like that. I'm not going to actually kick the ball, I'm indoors. But basically, your left leg, your standing leg is going to stay still, and your right leg is going to be hung up in the air for a second or two, and that's how the kick would usually take place. Now, Malia is off balance when he goes to kick the ball. And he's off balance because he doesn't actually know he's going to kick the ball, probably until quite late on when he has it. Because Tom Curry putting him under so much pressure, he is forced to kick the ball. But once he gets the ball, I don't think it's obvious in his own mind if he's going to pass the ball, run the ball, or kick it. So what happens with Malia is he receives the ball, still running forward, and then he decides, as soon as he pretty much, after he catches it, I am going to kick this. So what he does, he goes, bang, and he immediately lands on his right leg, less than a second after he's kicked the ball. Now his left leg sort of plants at the same time, but most of the body weight, because he's going to the right, is going to land on his right leg, the kicking leg. So what happens when you land on your right leg when you're kicking a ball is you're going to fall left a bit. If you land your left leg, you're still going to fall right. That's how you're sort of balancing. You're going back the other way. And your body weight, when they're both standing still, is in the middle. So Malia kicks. Body weight's going that way. Like, sure, he's falling, but his leg's going that way to hold him up. Tom Curry and hits in here, and he's going that way. So what you're seeing here is the leg get planted, all his weight, going back that way here, but the top half is going all this way as he gets hit by Curry. So his leg, his knee gets properly stretched. You can see it in the still photo. I'll show you over the top of this. His knee's getting pushed each way. It's enough to stretch or tear the ligaments, and he does some damage. I actually hurt my own knee yesterday. I think I've done some ligament damage on my own. So it's just hurting me during this explanation. But that's what happens. That's why Juan Cruz Malia gets injured. It's very unfortunate, but it happens because he is off balance making the kick. And he's off balance making the kick because Tom Curry's putting him under pressure. So, see, I'm out of breath to do this explanation. I need to do more running and more rugby myself. But that is what happens during the kick. It's about the weight transfer. He's not steady in the kick, Malia. He's off balance, and that's why when Tom Curry does hit him, this one injures him, whereas quite often when you're stood still making a composed kick and you get hit in the tackle after, you'll usually be okay. Now, if you managed to get through that demonstration, thanks for getting through this far. Give the video a like and do subscribe if you're enjoying it. It was painful watching it back on my own, but maybe actually because I'm embarrassed watching myself and my poor athleticism. But anyway, if we talk about why does this happen in the first place, why does Curry smash into Malia? And this is the great thing about rugby, because it's not just what happens in one phase of play. It's not even what happens in one game. This happens because of 6 months ago. 6 months ago, Tom Curry comes on for the British and Irish Lions in the Aviva Stadium in Dublin, playing against Argentina. What happens? Look at this clip. I don't want to show too much because of copyright on YouTube and that sort of thing. But Tom Curry goes to make the charge down on an Argentinian player. This time it's Thomas Albornoz. And he dummies the kick, sends Tom Curry to the shops, and he actually makes a line break. Pollock slips off the tackle. They score a try. That try wins the game for Argentina against the British and Irish Lions in that first warm-up match. Because Tom Curry, instead of going for the tackle on the kicker, goes for the charge down, and Albornoz dummies it. And it's something they did in this game against England a couple of times. I think it was both Albornoz or maybe Carreras once as well. Not actually Malia, but still an Argentinian player goes to dummy the ball. Now, Tom Curry in that Lions match got made a little bit of a meme because he was like full on diving past and probably got a bit of stick. And he probably, as much as you try and not read the general public's viewpoints and public comments on social media, you do, of course you do. Players read this stuff as well, and it probably got to him a bit. So he's gone in this game at the weekend against Malia. Just take him out. Just take him out in case he goes to run it. Malia is one of the best fullbacks in the world. Plays for Toulouse, plays for Argentina. Two teams with a great sort of running style, counter-attack you from anywhere on the pitch if they want to. So he's thought, not going to risk it. Just try and take him out. And if I can get him with the ball, perfect. If it's just after, let him know you're there, sort of thing. And sadly, he does get the ball as well, and he does accidentally injure Malia. Now, we explained why the injury happens, but this is why he makes full contact. This is why he doesn't go for the charge down. And now Tom Curry's getting a load of stick for making the tackle. So he got a load of stick 6 months ago for going for the charge down, and, Albornoz dummies, he gets made a bit of a fool. This time he thought, I'm not going to risk that. I'm going to make the tackle, and it's just about in time, safe enough. And they were still getting a load of stick because Malia's accidentally got injured. So I feel really bad for Tom Curry here because he just can't win either way. You either charge down, try and charge down, potentially miss the ball, give away a line break, or you take out the guy and then accidentally injure him. Like, what more can Tom do? So really feel for the guy. But again, it just shows that rugby isn't a one-game thing. This is like months and months in the building. Decisions that are made in other games by players and referees affect games that are happening next weekend. It's massive. I'll give you another example. Santi Carreras, brilliant player. But that final kick for touch doesn't make the 5 metre line. Ben Youngs said it in his podcast. I said it as well during the live. I said it during the game. He's not kicked that far enough. So I'm not copying Ben Youngs. But Ben Youngs said that if you listen to his podcast as well, the line out's 8 metres out. I can't remember who the Argentinian backup hooker is, sorry. But it means the pressure is on him to make the throw, and it gives more time for England to compete. If the line out is 5 metres away from the try line, England probably don't compete. They just wait for the maul and try and get a better shove on. Also, another thing happens. Pierre Brousset, I think that's how you say his name, is the French ref. A month ago in Chicago, Ireland versus New Zealand, he gives about 6 or 7 not straight line-outs. So he is hot on a line-out being contestable. And in this game against England and Argentina, he gives 2 against Argentina in the first 20, 25 minutes. Maybe it's the first half, I don't know. But it is in the Argentinian players' mind, and all the minds of both the English and Argentinian hookers, their throw has to be contestable, on the money, straight. This, and the England players will know this, the line-out jumpers will know this, Charlie Ewels will know this. He calls himself that he's going to jump and compete for the ball. He doesn't get the ball, but he manages to disrupt the ball enough for Argentina. I think it was Rubiolo who went up for Argentina. Ball doesn't go to receiver cleanly, bounces on the floor. Ben Youngs takes it. England win the game, kick the ball out, win the game. So that all happens because of Chicago, Ireland versus New Zealand, and that same ref. It's crazy how all these things come full circle, isn't it? Because a referee is really harsh on the line out a month ago and has affected the final play of the game in England versus Argentina at Twickenham. It is absolutely... That's why I think that's the great thing about the sport in a way. Like, there's so many little moving parts. And 1% here, 1% there. It makes all the difference to team performances. It makes all the difference to a win and a loss. So, Tom Curry, because he gets slightly embarrassed by Thomas Albanose 6 months ago in June, 5 months ago, whatever, in the lines with Argentina, that's why he makes the decision to tackle Malia there at the end of near the end of the game in England, Argentina in November. Crazy full circle. Anyway, sadly, Malia gets injured. Now, let's move on to the second part of this video. What happens afterwards? So basically, we get through the rest of the game. And Malia gets taken off. They're sadly down to 14. There's some contention as whether that should allow Argentina to have a 15th player back on, or whether they should have utilised their bench better. It's not clear whether he was like an injured player, allows another player to come back on. World Rugby need to sort out the laws a bit there. But ultimately, Argentina don't go back up to 15. They play the final 5-6 minutes with 14 men. You see around 77 minutes here. I'll show a couple of screenshots. I haven't got the exact timings here, but Contepomi coming down from his box early. Steve Borthwick doesn't come down till the final whistle's gone. Contepomi comes straight down to the touchline, and you see 30 seconds later, he's having an argument with the fourth officials on the touchline, a couple of the referees. He's having an argument, talking about the injury, probably about a yellow card, why they're not checking it. So he's already fired up, Contepomi. And this also sets the precedent that he's going to rile up the bench, because if the coach is rolled up, why would the bench not get rolled up? So move on now to what happens at the end of the game. So it's about 5 minutes maybe after Contepomi's having sort of arguments on the touchline. I mean, the touchline thing happened at 77 minutes pretty much. The game finishes at 84 minutes, 26 something, 50 what? So like 85 minutes pretty much. And that's without the clock stopping a bit more as well. So it's well over 7 minutes since Contepomi's having a little argument. Well over 10 minutes since Tom Curry first tackled Malia. If you see here, if you look at the corner here, the game finishes at 1:48:18 pretty much. This is the shot of Montoya, hands on his head as soon as Alex Mitchell's kicked it off. 30 seconds later, we see this shot. They show 30 seconds of a couple of Argentinian England players sort of slapping each other, say, "Oh, nice game," all that sort of thing. And we can see here, Iskra and Daly were just having a little chat. Zoom into the background, and I'll put a circle around these two. Santi Grondona and Thomas Gaggio, two guys who they both came off nearly half an hour ago. I mean, Grondona got pulled off after about 45 minutes, so he's been off for a long time. They're walking onto the pitch, and they are making a beeline for Tom Curry. You sort of move here into this picture here. So this is about 40 seconds after the game. So this game's done. Grondona, look, Daly's come to say hello. He's sort of gone, yeah, whatever, get out of my way. Grondona, he's making a beeline. If you stretch over here into the other hand side of the picture, Tom Curry stood there. Grondona going straight to him. Now the camera's cut away to, I think it's Molina on the floor, just sort of gutted, and a bit to Steve Borthwick. Then the TV producers realise there's a bit of a scuffle. What do they come back to? Here it is, Tom Curry, and who's he having a fight with there? Grondona. Grondona's started all of this right here. Iskro, Freddie Stewart, Theo Dan are trying to stop them and separate them. Iskro's had no problem. He's seen Grondona though go up to Tom Curry. Tom Curry's like, "What are you doing, mate? What is this for?" Because again, the tackle wasn't even that bad. So Grondona started this, so he should be getting a fine immediately for just coming on the pitch and starting a fight once the game's all done. I want some serious pesos taken off of him. And then Pollock sort of pulls him off, so Grondona's a bit distracted here with Pollock. Rubiolo trying to stop it, Picardo. We look back again at Tom Curry on the left, who's gone to back up Grondona. Little mate, Tom Gaggio. So yeah, these two have come on to cause trouble. They've been on the bench. They could see Contepomi rolled up. That's got them rolled up. They probably see Malia come off and chatted to him. And I don't know if Malia said anything. Malia didn't seem too annoyed at Tom Curry. I didn't see him say anything. I've not heard any quotes since the game, but you never know. Maybe he has and he's just not said anything, not got involved because he's injured. But Gaggio and Grondona there have gone on and caused a load of havoc. So immediately you think those two have got to be a thing. There's a couple more shots here of Grondona. Like even Guy Pepper and Rubiolo here trying to tell him to calm down. Rubiolo, obviously Argentinian, but also Bristol teammate. Guy Pepper plays at Bath. His brother Max plays at Bristol. Probably knows Grondona slightly. They're both like, just chill out, man. What are you doing? So Grondona, not good enough behaviour from him. Great player. Love watching him for Bristol in the Prem, but disappointing from him to just come on and cause a load of stuff. Tom Curry starts to walk off the pitch. You know, he goes down the tunnel here. And then this is when we get the whole thing between Felipe Contepomi and Tom Curry in the tunnel. It sort of boils over. So we don't yet know completely what's happened here, but going off what Contepomi said in the press conference, the big clips that are going around is that Tom Curry told me to F off. He gave me a little slap, and he's like, actually, no, not a slap, a push. But he knows the word for slap. I don't care my English isn't good. He knows that it's not a slap, it's a push. But slap sounds better, doesn't he? He calls Tom Curry a bully in his nature. I mean, again, everything off the field says he's not a bully in nature. Yes, he is on the pitch, but again, you expect any great world-class flanker to be exactly that. So, Contepomi, talking a load of rubbish here. Anyway, so some serious character defamation, I'd argue, there from Contepomi, who doesn't have any clue what Tom Curry is. He says he's come over and pushed him and told him to F off. And that's what all the clip shows. Like, I'm 48, he's big and strong and 27. You know, he's painting himself as some sort of victim. But then if you get right down to the bottom of this Irish Times article, of course, even the newspapers have put this right at the bottom. It says, what actually happened, he was coming into the tunnel. This is Contepomi talking, but it's not gone around in all the clips. Tom Curry, he was coming into the tunnel. And we said, mate, he broke his knee. So clearly, he's instigated the conversation. He said, mate, you broke his knee. And he's not just going to say, oh, mate, you broke his knee. No, he's going to probably go up to Tom Curry, Contepomi. He's going to go, mate, you broke his knee. And then this is where Tom Curry's gone, F off, and pushed him away. Because he'd probably gone over like, mate, you broke his knee. And then he's just sort of pushed him back like, F off. And that's how he's saying that's a slap. I mean, it's a push away because, Tom Curry is exiting the fight on the pitch. He just wants to get out of there. He wants nothing to do with it. He's probably shaken up that he's being treated like this. And, he probably feels bad for injuring Malia because there's no intention to, quite clearly. And Contepomi says, after breaking someone's knee, to be humble enough and say, sorry, I did something wrong. I don't think the way to say that is say, mate, you broke his knee. He didn't push him, but mate, you broke his knee. I don't think that sort of aggressive tone is going to get, oh yeah, sorry, Contepomi. No, it's like, get away. I didn't mean to. So Contepomi, he's talking absolute rubbish. So he's not only, he's had a go at Tom Curry as a man about his character. He's sort of showing him to be sort of aggressive in the tunnel, even though quite clearly Contepomi admits he starts the conversation, he starts the interaction between the two, and then he's exaggerating on purpose, saying a slap instead of a push. So Contepomi, he's a big rugby player, ex-rugby player himself. Let's not pretend he's not going to start arguments. He's getting in an argument with fans, England fans on the sideline during this. I forgot to mention that Austin Healey said in commentary he's having an argument with English fans in the crowd. After he's having a go at the refs. So, he's 48, but, he still have a go at refs and fans. But when a player does, suddenly he's getting bullied. So ultimately, it's just, I think, absolutely embarrassing from Felipe Contepomi. This behaviour and these sort of accusations shouldn't just be allowed. Him and Santi Grondona should be getting fines. Maybe Thomas Gaggio as well for just coming on, starting a fight, those two. It shouldn't be allowed. And Tom Curry, again, unfortunate. You can argue if the tackle was late. I would say not. I've seen worse happen and get away with it. But sure, give away a penalty. That's fine. It's not a yellow card. I've seen Andy Good say that on the Rugby pod. I think that's ridiculous. You're just trying to ruin the game. You're saying that's a yellow card now, we might as well not play rugby. Grondona should be, as I said, be getting a fine, and Contepomi should be getting in serious trouble for his actions, having a go at the referees, having a go at fans, sort of saying this all about Tom Curry. He is not behaving as a top coach of an international team should be. Anyway, that's the timeline of what happened, why he got injured, why Tom Curry made the tackle in the first place, what happened on the pitch after the game, and what happened in the tunnel after the game, from what I can tell. Again, we haven't really heard Borthwick or Tom Curry's series of events. We've not got any camera footage as of yet from the tunnel, but I think there is cameras in there apparently. So I'm sure it will come out in due course. Maybe I made this video too soon and I'm having a go at some of the Argentinian coaches and players too much, but this is how I'm interpreting it. I like to think I'm quite biased. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the tackle, in my opinion. We see injuries happen all the time. Multiple Prem players have got injured in this first season. We see something like a big one that's famous is that DuPont injury in the Six Nations where Tyburn landed on his knee. That's done him out. He's still not back from rugby, Anton DuPont, since that. And that was just an unfortunate accident as well. Tyburn shouldn't be getting punished. Tom Curry shouldn't be getting punished. You can't punish players off of the consequences. And Contepomi just mentioned this. He says he didn't make it clear which player, but we're assuming Ben Thomas, was it 3 weeks ago against Argentina, got a yellow card for trying to kick Matera in the head. For me, I actually agree with Contepomi, that should have been a straight red. Ben Thomas should be getting, I reckon, an 8-game ban. If you're trying to kick a player in the head, that should be a serious ban. And I agree with Contepomi, World Rugby and the referees did not do enough to punish Ben Thomas there. It shouldn't matter that he didn't connect with the head. He's meant to. That's what his intention was, to seriously harm. I don't know how he got away with just a yellow card. But that does not mean Tom Curry should be being, done on the consequence of his action, because there's no malice, no intent to harm. It's just a slightly late tackle, if even late. It's just a tackle. Anyway, I've just rambled on really for the last 2-3 minutes now, off script. But let me know your thoughts on the whole situation. If you somehow made it to the end of this video, it's probably going to end up about 20 minutes. Fair play to you. Hopefully you enjoyed my poor athleticism in my demonstration. And if you want to see more videos like this, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. If you're Argentinian watching this, hopefully you agree with me. I like to think I've been neutral and take a sort of neutral view on things. So hopefully you can agree with me from wherever you are in the world. But yeah, thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next one.